Virgin Media Shorts, championing undiscovered talent.
I think they're both things basically. So there's been a lot of short films that have become feature films for directors. So like famously District 9, Napoleon Dynamite, Saw was also a short film before it got made. So there's I think you pretty much look at most directors and they all started making short films. So undoubtedly there are a stepping stone, but I think they're also a means to an end. So millions of people are watching short films online at the moment. Very famous directors are going back and making short films. Even being Lynn Ramsey just won the BAFTA last year. She went back because she wanted to make a short film. So I think that they're both things. I would say that when kind of making a film, it can be a bit dangerous to sort of think too much that they are a stepping stone, because actually I think that if you make a short film like it is a means to an end, and just concentrate on making a great short film, that's what people will remember. So if you focus too much on the stepping stone aspect, you might start to try and do things and pursue certain angles because you think you should do them, rather than because you actually want to do them, and that's a bit dangerous, and you're sort of moving away from what might be a really interesting thing. I've mixed genres because the ideas that I had tended to be sort of in those different genres. I also wanted to kind of learn different kind of lessons, which I think you do when you go to different genres. So if that's comedy, about how to kind of work to kind of structure to kind of lead up to a laugh and get the most from it, or if it's drama, about how you kind of use the camera to kind of heighten dramatic moments. So I've tended to mix genres. I do think there's a lot to be gained from sticking to one genre though. So if you want to move into kind of commercials or sort of TV, I think that they tend to look for directors who sort of focus in one kind of area, whether that's kind of comedy or drama, or kind of have a particular tone to their work. So I don't think there's a kind of right way or wrong way. I just think pursue the ideas that you're most passionate about, and things will happen for you if you do that. I think the most important thing is the idea, and so when you have an idea that you think, when I have an idea that I want to make, I think very carefully about it. Is it a short film? Is it a feature film? Is it a TV series? What's the sort of scale of it? And is this a kind of something that could be made on a micro budget, or is this something that's kind of bigger? So that affects the way that your kind of next step. If it's something small and micro that you can do yourself, then you can crack on and do it. If it's something bigger, then it needs a bit more investment. You need to sense check that idea, maybe work on the script with other people who know a little bit more about feature films. But I think I start with the idea. And then start finessing it. So when I first started, I was quite precious about the scripts, maybe because I was a bit insecure about them. Nowadays, I chuck them at everyone because I really want the feedback on the idea. You make things as easy as possible for yourself if you've cut the stuff out before you've even shot it. So it's always good to really kind of strip that idea down to the sort of essence, really understand it, be really confident about it. So when you're on set and you're making the film, you're really confident about that idea, so that you can make all the decisions which get the most out of it. And then I would say the other thing that I think about a lot is the tone. So I think that's it's quite a slippery term, tone, but it's essentially kind of how the way in which you want to treat the material. And so I think quite carefully about that. And is that because I think if you make a strong commitment to the tone, you can bring out the idea in a really strong way. Some of the best short films and feature films commit to a very singular tone. So, for example, Paul Greengrass, is a kind of known for his kind of documentary filmmaking, which is taken into kind of fiction films and really kind of works well, and it has that immediacy, and you're really in the film. Other people like Wes Anderson or you know, Baz Luhrmann have a more fantastical feel. So it's all kind of, you know, very otherworldly. So I think once you have the idea, you need to think about what is the way in which you're going to, you know, kind of treat that idea, and be really confident about that. Well, there's lots of benefits from having your work online. So I've benefited quite a lot from that. I've had a couple of my ideas which were kind of comedy that went viral, and that really helped me. So I think it's ultimately the immediacy of having your content online and being seen by people. When I first started making films, the only way that people could see my films was through film festivals. So, you know, you were getting the film, finishing it, putting it on DVDs, and then sending it off, you know, praying to get into the festival. You know, nowadays you can just upload that within seconds. It's online. You can start pumping it out to people. So I think the great thing is that you know, is the immediacy of it. What can be great at doing is really kind of raising your profile, getting your work out there. As long as it's good, you know, be confident that what you've made is kind of what you wanted to make, and that it's good. But certainly it can very quickly show, and you know, there's some great examples of people. There's a Uruguayan director who made a short film called I think it's called Panic Attack, and he said he uploaded it on the Friday, and then on the Monday he had you know, his inbox was full of emails from Hollywood studio execs who'd seen the footage, and you know, wanted to work with him, and he's kind of tabled on making a £30 million like Hollywood blockbuster. It's like, it's a credible story. This guy who just uploaded like a 2-minute, you know, short film online. So I think there's lots of examples of that, and ultimately that's a really strong thing that you can get out of it. Is something that worked for me and that I got out of it. So, but I think it works best for certain genres. So it works really well for comedy or kind of high concept and sort of animation. If you're making kind of drama and more kind of art house content, you know, it's just a sort of different approach. So, you know, don't think that just because you made a film that it will automatically go viral. There's a lot of hard work around that you need to work on.
Virgin Media Shorts, championing undiscovered talent.